sat next to Urban Meyer. So who has a better coaching record, Urban Meyer or Larry Corbin? Would you? Okay. You know what his coaching record is?
Used to 15
275 and 120 is closer than 500. Anybody else have any guesses? I don't hear any. 212, 77, and 85. What was Urban Meyer's, which would be about, he won roughly 3/4 of his games. And he started the program from scratch, right? Isn't that correct? So,
His first year, he was 0-7.
Right. And how about Urban Meyer? What was his record? Any idea? 187 and 32. So he did have a better record, but he didn't have the longevity that Love had, nor did he start a program to start out more. So, anyway, pretty common. Anyway, neat thing to see. So that's the only question I had today. And normally I go around and collect money from you guys, but because of the fact that it's the Christmas season, I'm going to pay $5, and then if you guys want to contribute, that's up to you. So Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
I think maybe Todd, you can say something about this, but Urban Meyer was really pretty darn good, was he not, when he was there? Just hand this to Todd a second.
Were you there, Todd? Okay. I know they sat next to each other.
I don't know.
Well, just a little bit about, how Urban Meyer kind of helped, stumbled a little bit coming up there, and his chair wasn't right, and I mean, Urban Meyer was really.
At one point, his chair fell over, and Urban Meyer helped him get it picked up, and he needed a lot of help up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very gracious. Urban Meyer was. Yeah.
What was the response when Doug introduced to those two guys? He said, you guys made more money in 1 year than, did he ever say that?
As far as I know, he didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, he sure was interested in saying that, though, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. No, it was a really, there was a press conference in the morning, so some of us went to that, not everybody did. That was really neat. A lot of the guys said a lot of good things. Maybe saw some of it. They all answered about 2 or 3 questions, maybe. They all talked about the idea that football is a team sport and you can't do it by yourself. And, yeah, a lot of people to lean on. So
How many people were there because Bud was there?
I would say 55 to 65. Yeah, I'm not sure. A lot of quarters.
Yeah.
They had probably at least 2 or 3 tables of quarters.
And then some of the people that came back that maybe you weren't expecting to come.
Sure. Lee McKinstry showed up with his wife. Mike Van Berkem with his wife. Arlen Mao came with his wife. Dave Rosenbaum was there. I played with all those guys. Steve Post went along. You know Steve Post. You might know Junior Hoagland. He went. He's a big sports fan, so he was there. Mel Churchman came with his wife. Dave Baumgars drove down to Mel's house, and they hopped on a private jet that a donor from down there had and flew them up. Yeah. So Barry Brandt and his wife showed up. Paul Jensen and his wife. Russ King and his wife. Yeah.
I thought maybe Badger might show up. He lives in Arizona, huh?
No, I know. I didn't see him there.
He stopped by the Dutch Mart one day. He's fun to talk to. I mean, and had a lot of great things to say about Northwestern. Mark Lohr. You always call him Badger. He's a little short offensive lineman. Yeah.
So in the room on Tuesday night, though, at the banquet itself, there must have been 180 or so tables with 10 people at a table, plus all the people that got introduced. I think someone.
I said 2,200 something.
Yeah, maybe it was you. It's 2,200 people in one big room. Yeah, it was really amazing. Yeah, it really was. It was a sight to see. Yeah, glad I got to go.
All right.
For sure.
Well, thank you, Dennis.
Yeah.
Because we were all there in spirit, weren't we?
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the Lions Club and how we can help this community and serve this community. Speaking of service, we thank you for Earl, our recent retired member here, and we just thank you for his service to this community, to the college so faithfully. We pray that his retirement goes well for Karen, and just bless our meeting now. Bless his food to our body. May you be glorified through it all, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, we'll have some school reports, and you want to start, Mike?
Yeah.
Taking his coat off. Hand it over to Mike first.
Mike. All right, MLC Floyd Valley, this is our last full week of school before Christmas break. We have 2 days next week, Monday, Tuesday as well. We have a lot of things going on this week. It's pretty busy. Tonight we host our holiday concert in our Champions Gym. So our new gym at the high school. Choir, orchestra, and band will all perform tonight. That begins at 7 o'clock. We'd love to have you there to enjoy the holiday-themed program. Last week, athletically, our girls had a great game at Sioux Center. They played well together and knocked off a rated Sioux Center team. That night, our boys did not fare as well. Sioux Center shot extremely well. We lost over there. And then our second game last week was supposed to be on Thursday at Okoboji. That was postponed to this week, Thursday, because of snow. So we'll head up there on Thursday to take on the Pioneers. Wrestling teams participated last week. We're struggling to fill out weight classes, so we're losing our duels. But we have several boys wrestlers. Burke Ewell and Andrew Borisma are doing very well, taking care of most of their opponents. And then on the girls' side, we have a similar problem with not being able to fill our weight classes. But we got 3 or 4 girls who are performing extremely well in their sport. So come out and see them if you have the opportunity to do that. Our girls are at home tomorrow night, if you'd like to watch some wrestling there. Our basketball teams go across town. We play Unity tomorrow night. JV girls starts at 3:45. They're going to play all the games in one gym, in their main gym. So JV starts at 3:45. Boys will follow, and then the varsity girls, varsity boys on that way. Thursday, our boys wrestling team goes to ELC. Basketball's at Okoboji. Friday, we're back home again for basketball. We host Rock Valley. Should be a fun night there as well. Saturday, if you want to watch robotics, we have 5 robotics teams competing at home, beginning at 10 a.m. and then basically competing until they're done, which is probably about 3:30 or 4. So lots of teams from Sioux City and then also Northwest Iowa will be there. That's a fun event as well. Quiz Bowl is at home. Girls wrestling is at Canton, and boys wrestling goes to Cherokee. So, lots of things going on.
You bet. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike? Shelley, before I talk about Northwestern, we've got 2 ladies here that do a tremendous job. Shelley, this meal today, and all of them are good. We need a hand for this. And then Lori over there, all you have to do is bring up something. A couple weeks ago, I said, is there a way we're going to find out some things about this bug program? Just like that. We all get messages. She's on top of everything. Lori, you do a great job. Okay, now to Northwestern. Last week was a very good week as far as basketball was concerned. Really was, the only thing going on was basketball. Our women and our men both won 2 games. Beat Waldorf on Wednesday and then took care of Midland on Saturday. Saturday was a real nice day as well because they brought back the alums of, a lot of the alums of the women and the men. And to see some of those people again was really great. And Earl over there, as being the head coach of that 2001 team, was honored kind of not only as a player, but then as far as that team was concerned, and a lot of those players were back. And then the men's team, the same way Chris Corver, the coach of that team, a lot of those were, but there were just a lot of men back from that team. Lyle was there, Earl, Les, Dave, I think there was one other one yet. He wasn't, he should have been. Anyway, it was great to see all of those guys again and honor those teams. Now, this week, our women play at Dakota Wesleyan in Mitchell on some men play on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. That's the only game. Our women are not playing then. They play at Dakota Wesleyan on the 30th. For some, I don't know why that got separated. Maybe it's because the women are hitting the road for Kansas Friday and Saturday for games. But anyway, that's all you have to look forward to. There are no home games again until after the first of the year, except for that one I mentioned on the 30th, where our women, our women will be going to Dakota Wesleyan. I'm sure you kept track of all that.
You explained it perfectly, Dan.
Oh yeah, I don't think I missed a thing there. So go to all that stuff.
Jason, yeah.
We're also getting close to Christmas break here, but last week we had a few basketball games, played Hope Protestant, and I think lost those. Well, the 7th grade girls won, the other teams lost. Then we played Sheldon, the 8th graders played Sheldon, and they both won. And the 7th graders played at Ironton, and they won, so that was good. We went all-school caroling last week also on Thursday, which was really a cold day, so I don't know if that, we could choose it. Well, that was Wednesday, sorry. Wednesday, but it was cold. So we got some buses, we hit Northwestern, we hit around here, we hit some of the retirement homes, and that was a lot of fun. So all of our students got to participate in that. So maybe you heard some of that where you happen to be in one of those places. This week we have Hull Christian that we play on Tuesday and Rock Valley on Thursday. And then we'll be heading to Christmas break.
All right, thank you. The importance of Lori is that she said, Doug, you missed the joke today before you rang the bell. So, anybody have a joke? I happen to read one. This kid went to his mother and he said, my father, my 2 older brothers, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather, all on their 18th birthday walked across the lake to have a beer. He said, I tried and I had to be rescued by boat. Tell me why that is, Mother. He said, well, their birthdays are all in January. Okay. We have a couple birthdays coming up here. Lauren on the 14th, Brad on the 19th, and Paul Jansen on the 1st. He was a New Year's baby. Okay, so when we say happy birthday to, it'd be Lauren, Brad, Paul. Okay, in that order, please. Okay, all right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lauren, Brad, Paul. Happy birthday to you. All right. Dale Heemstra is doing the site thing at Okoboji on this week Thursday, whatever that number is. So if any of you are interested in that, it's like leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. We got 70 some kids to test, and so if you want to see what that's all like, just let Lori know, and one way or another we'll have somebody there. Okay, so. All right, so Earl, before you introduce your guest, maybe just say a few words about what you felt this weekend reflecting back, okay?
Yeah, well, first of all, we were really thrilled to see so many of the alums come back for the basketball games on Saturday. Especially, you know, our family had some really great memories from 2001 because Brandon was playing on the men's team down in Branson, and I had the opportunity to coach Jamie and the women's team up in Sioux City, and both teams winning. Remember listening to Brandon's game on the radio. It was before you could live stream and do all those things, so it's kind of living through that as those games were won. But yeah, just a number of players that were back, and just to hear how grateful they are as they reflect on the experiences they had here in Orange City and especially at Northwestern, just really rewarding. You know, I had the opportunity, of course, to assist Les and Todd and Bob Borcher as a men's assistant. So a bunch of those men that were here was fun for me to interact with, as well as the number of women over the 17 years that I got to coach the women's team. So, and then to be that 2001 group just gathered in the evening on Saturday in the hub at Northwestern. Watch some of those video clips and a few things. Just hard to believe it was 25 years ago, but just some great memories and yeah, giving tribute to people who went before the teams today and laid a great foundation. So it was really fun. Thanks, Doug.
Earl, I'm curious, did you look younger on the video?
Brad, I don't even know how to answer that question. You know, I think you just caught up with me as how old you are, yeah, with this birthday. So, you know, should I ask that question of you? No. All right. Lauren Veldhuizen actually asked me to make the introduction today of Matt Van Schouwen as our new city administrator. We were reflecting back a little bit. We think that over the last 100 years, there were only 4 city administrators, going back to Bid Hasselow and then Don Skur and then Dwayne Fakis. And I was definitely the short timer in that group, only being in that role for 6 years. Dwayne, what was it, 21 as city administrator? A little over 21 years, and he had, I think, a 42-year career at the city. And of course, Don Skur was a city leader for many, many years. And as Lauren mentioned, Bid Hasselow was Mr. Orange City back in the day. So that's kind of the foundation that was laid before you, Matt. There's a lot of guys that worked for over 25 years as city administrator, and you're young enough that you can probably do that. So, you know, the opportunity to introduce Matt is a pleasure for me. Probably had a little small part in encouraging Matt when I was on city council, but really the credit goes to Dwayne and others who helped recruit Matt as our public works director initially about a little over 7 years ago, I'm thinking. So Matt was already employed at the city before I started. When I came in, we had a few differences we had to work out. You know, the fact that he's a Dordt alum was a little hard for me to always accept in the office. And, you know, we had some of those things we had to work through on occasion. Then I was reminded that he had worked for a number of years with Murray Holstein. So if you know Murray, he's a Red Raider fan. So Matt knew what it was like to work side by side with someone who was going to be rooting for the Raiders and not the Defenders. But yeah, I'm just thrilled that Matt's in this role coming in. You know, I've introduced or shared with people that I find Matt to be a soft-spoken, well-thought-out person who carefully thinks before he speaks. He's a really good problem solver and a really great team member. And I think he's going to do an outstanding job in the role working with the city council and the mayor and the staff as our city administrator. He's already been answering the hard questions since the 1st of November. So I had a few weeks of getting those calls and say, well, I think you're going to have to talk to Matt about that. So he's already jumped into the fire. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Matt Van Schouwen.
Yeah, thanks, Earl. I appreciate that. We did work out our differences, and I learned a little bit from Murray, who was in Sioux Center at the time. He said, and I attribute this here in our city now, that a lot more of my paycheck comes from Northwestern than it does from Dort at this point. So, I truly appreciate that. So, no, thank you for having me here today, and I appreciate the time to chat and to tell a little bit about myself, but also about the city. Like Earl said, I've been here for 7 years, almost 7 years, and it's been a real pleasure to serve the community and to be part of Orange City. There's a lot of great things happening and a lot of great people too. We're going through some council reports right now, and it's just amazing to see the love and the service that so many people have for our community, both in the volunteer agencies, the Arts Council, the museum, the Dutch Heritage Boosters, all those folks, and it's really neat to see so many people bought into the community, and that's a real pleasure to serve that and to have more than just those of us at City Hall working for the community that way. As Earl said, I was born and raised in Sioux Center, and I have a lot of good memories from Orange City. In fact, my parents, a lot of you know them. My dad's a longtime car salesman at Mao, and my mom actually grew up in Orange City. My grandparents are Marion and Wilma Jasper, and I think he had J&R Body Shop back in the day, and so that was, we spent some time here. It was a fun time coming to Orange City and going to Tulip Festival, the Dutch Bakery, and I think it was my grandpa, he told me that back then, the Orange City Fathers, every now and then they had to take the statue of Lady Justice off the top of the courthouse so she could come down to use the bathroom. And that was great. I appreciate that. So, but then until I learned after moving here and talking to Denny Vanderbilt that that's not really what happens. So that they don't take the statue down like that. So, but anyway, I went to Unity Christian, and actually during that time, remember Kinderspielen going in and the golf course being built. I think our first, during my junior year, we played our first couple of seasons on Landsmere's golf course, so that was a good time and have a lot of good memories there. So I went to Dordt College at the time and got my engineering degree, mechanical engineering. So I was interested in a lot of technical things at the time. Excuse me. And also during that time, I worked for the City of Sioux Center part-time, so I worked for the water department and really appreciated working for the community and seeing the work I did help the community out even in a small way. So I graduated from Dordt and then went to work at Grow Shop in Sioux Center. They manufacture electric motors, specifically the KitchenAid stand mixer motors. So I enjoyed working there. And but then I really did enjoy my work, my summertime work for the City of Sioux Center. And when they had a couple of retirements happen there, they switched some things around and opened up an engineering position there in the utility department. So that's when I started working there back in 2005, and did a lot of organizing utility things, bringing some of the technology up to date. Project management, working with different people and different projects. So that was really fulfilling. And then, as Earl mentioned, we moved to Orange City. Public Works position opened up with Bryant Garrettson retiring. We'd actually been toying around with maybe being a little unsettled in Sioux Center, and we enjoyed traveling a lot, and we especially like the South and the East Coast, and had been toying around with some different things, and prayed about that a few times, and yeah, the Lord answered our prayer. We moved about 6 miles southeast. So weren't quite as specific, I guess, on that, but I really enjoyed working for Orange City and leading the utility staff, and finding that even in the month or so here that I've been working with Earl and in the city administrator role, there's a lot kind of moving from operations to more leadership, coordination, just dealing with a lot of different outside organizations of the city. And so, it's challenging, and I can see that it's going to be a little bit different type of work than what I've been doing, but I really enjoy that. So, my family, my wife Karen and I met in college. She's actually from Ontario, California, so she actually does work at Dordt University, so in the advancement department there. I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and the 3 oldest ones are in college, and then Ava is our junior at Unity Christian. So, they're soon all leaving the house at that point. So, talking about a little bit of the transition here. I really appreciate the small town community that we have, the small town values. Our mission here is at the city is to basically foster an environment where people can live their lives, where they can thrive, where we provide the essential services and a place where people can do business and live and worship, and not that we control all of that, but that we provide that type of environment. And so that's really what I look at, and I personally reflect on what am I doing to help our community really be who they are. We have a great downtown and amenities. We have really good school systems. The health system is great, and we all partner together pretty well. And as I've taken on this role, people have asked, well, are there any strong initiatives or anything that you are going to take on or make big changes? Like, boy, there's a lot of great things happening. I don't think we need to make big changes. We just need to continue what we're doing and continue to improve what we're doing. So, as looking ahead a little bit, as we take on this role, and especially as we have 2 new council members and fairly young council anyway, beginning of the year, we're going to be doing a strategic planning session, and I think that's going to be pretty key as we move forward and look at what some of the vision is, take input from the community, from some key stakeholders, from the school administrators to some business leaders, the development corporation, the hospital, and what are some things that they see as a successful community, or things that we need to do in our city. Develop a vision plan, and then put some tangible action plans into place. And so that's really what we're going to be looking at the beginning of 2026, as we especially as we have several new folks in the chairs around the table there. So those are just a few things just to kind of kick off where I'm at. I don't know, there's questions, or if you want to have some follow-up with that, certainly happy to discuss some things or go deeper into other areas. So
What seemed appealing 7 years ago? What seemed appealing to you, or was there any surprise to you? What seemed most appealing to you to take a job with utilities with Orange City, with your whole connections with Sioux Center and stuff?
Sure.
Just kind of curious.
yeah, so there's some additional responsibility with this job, supervising a team of, I think there's 14 or 15 in that department. I hadn't done that in my previous job. So some of the things aligned really well. We had the electric, the natural gas, water, sewer, streets, and the format was very similar. So just a different group of people and different group, just a change, to be honest. Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of people around us look at Orange City and Sioux Center and wonder what's going on, why things are working. Does municipal utilities have anything to do with that?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, that does.
And how do you see that?
So the municipal utilities, specifically the electric and gas utilities, nearly all cities provide the sewer and the water, but those are basically break-even services that we provide, and but the electric and gas has some margin built in, and that has helped provide reserves where we're able to help development. We can purchase land for development and hold that, and then eventually pay that back. So basically, we have some reserves that we can do that. We also can provide things like benefits to our community, like the Dutch Front program, that helps out with spurring things on, and also being in charge of being the local ones providing the utilities. You know, Northwest RDC as a non-municipal utility does a great job partnering with development, but that's not always the case with an outside utility, and so having our own utilities be able to coordinate with local community members.
I just wondered, you know, Sioux Center's always had their scouts as far as Orange City to make sure that they don't get anything ahead of them, or if you do get them, have you set up a scouting system for the same?
That's great. I think people think there's a lot more funny business that goes on behind the scenes, but I think we just drive each other well. So, but, yeah.
Well, that explains, Dave, why you're always here in Lions, right?
That's right. Just see what I can find out.
Yeah, that's great.
Matt, I have a comment. As Alton and Orange City continue to squeeze together, what's going on between the two communities? Is there working together lots, or, I mean, is there any communication with Alton with this coming as?
Yeah, so we've had some communication, and I have to rely on Earl a little bit for the more recent things, but we do work together on some utility operations, natural gas, our police force. We basically provide all of the water to Alton, to the city of Alton. We do have an agreement where we basically where we're going to meet as a community, you know, where our corporate limits will both meet, basically the half-mile line between, well, basically what's up right now. We have been talking to them on when that our 14th Street will go through and line up with their, and you know, the street would be out there, but eventually that would be a connection between the two communities, and I think we're certainly on board with that. But yeah, we touch base on things like that fairly frequently, a couple times a year probably. I don't know that there's a formal plan on when that's going to happen. That's where we're headed.
Who's in charge of the culvert or bridge that is going to connect those two communities?
That's the city of Alton.
Okay. Is that the holdup?
That piece of ground going to the east was dedicated to the city of Alton when that plat was completed. That would be their responsibility. Just kind of follows the waterway there, where the city of Orange City ends and the city of Alton begins.
Can you, either of you comment, and maybe Dwayne might have a comment on it too, but the regional airport has been kind of a joint effort with Sioux Center, Orange City, and the county. It's kind of quiet for what a lot of people see, but it's very busy, and it's been a real asset to the whole area. Is there anything you can comment in terms of how that's going and any future plans for the airport?
So I know that they just have a concrete project to add some more hangar space, but go ahead, Wayne, you're a lot more involved in.
I'll take the mic just sort of right
Towards the beginning.
Just quickly, I think one of the things that we should do is have a Lions Club out there.
Yeah.
Because there's probably some things that you haven't seen, some of the planes that they have. Sometimes trying to find out when that plane's going to be there is a challenge. But anyway, yeah, we're expanding to the south. Right now we've got I think the building's about 120 by 100 foot. It's being put up by Airflare, who does the flight work out of there, charter work. And so they're putting that up. There's 2 more buildings that should go up about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller. One will be with R&M spraying, and then the other one will be optic air. And even that one's interesting. They do the photographs from up from the plane. But it is really cool. I mean, when we did the planning for this, our engineer had some projections. And we thought, holy smokes, those are some big numbers, and we're actually exceeding them. So that's really pretty cool.
I think there's a lot of businesses that operate out of there that not a lot of us know about.
This is kind of off the point, but just to speak into that, I have roots back in the Oskaloosa Pella area, and for now some 15 years, about the same time that Dwayne began working on our airport with Harold Skibout, Pella Window in Pella and Musco Lighting in Oskaloosa needed a regional airport. And now as you travel from Des Moines to Ottumwa, there are billboards, old truck freight bodies, everything says, don't spoil eminent domain, protect the farmers, and they still don't have an airport. So when the 2 cities and the county can come together and build something like that, that's unique, and it works.
I remember that story happening back when some of the initial planning was happening here too. Remember that story, right?
So thanks to everybody who made that airport work.
Dwayne, that went back with Don Vanderstoop as mayor then, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We met in Washington DC. It was Harold and Ben Herter,
Dale,
and then Don and myself.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the starting point to it. So yeah, we
Yeah.
started with
Pretty interesting.
Don.
Matt, maybe a quick update on what the housing projects are and what the city's
Sure.
role in those different housing projects going on.
Yeah, so that's one of the great things we have going on is a mix of housing, new developments. The city is working on the next addition of the Puddle Jumper area, which will be Madison Place. So Lincoln goes south from the hospital, and then one block over to the east, we're putting plans and specifications in place for that. Vision Builders is moving forward with their, well, they have a Board of Adjustment meeting tonight, but they'll be moving forward with their Canal Second Edition, which is their core home concept, they call it, which is going to be the Porches project by the old elementary school. So that type of housing, as well as 4 8-plexes along 14th Street, which would be just west of the new elementary school. So that'll be 23 homes and 4 8-plexes. So number of units there going in place. And then our Perry Construction is starting their apartment unit complex north of Dollar Fresh. So they will have 6 12-plexes there, so 72 units there. So that is, I think they have 3 holes dug at this point, so working on that, and they'll be kind of in sequence doing all 6 of those. There's plenty of space up there for additional buildings, not necessarily 12-plexes, but additional development behind Dollar Fresh there. And then on the west side of town, Brian Grinner, we bought some land west of Ohio, Ironwood, and it's going to be putting in about 20 acres of larger acres, I think minimum 1.5 acres of the 3-acre lots there, putting a long cul-de-sac in, and that'll be starting next year as well. So, and then out west is on the old elementary school property. I think there's 6 lots sold for the private developers there. So, and we continue to work with the North Wyland developers on how to continue that development as well. Marlon, Walling, and Jay. It's kind of that, so. Needed additional land, so. It's a lot of mix.
That property north of Unity High School, it used to be the Bauma Reinders edition. Is that still the Bauma Reinders edition? What's the holdup there? It's a beautiful area. It's directly, involved with the city limits.
That's right.
What's the holdup there of what you know?
As far as I know, the last lot, available lot, is now being built on. So that's the last lot in the existing addition. Future additions, basically land acquisition there. I don't know all the ins and outs of the developers, but I think the land cost is not feasible. I mean, it's I don't know, 40 to 60,000.
Well, I've had conversations with both Bauma and Reinders on that property, and Ron Bauma was the main driver to the development, and Reinders obviously was the one who had the land. Ron being retired and living in, I believe, Minnesota, yeah, there's just not a lot of drive or incentive for them to want to develop it out, and they would sell that property, but it would be a very high price.
It's a nice area, you're right.
Too bad, so sad.
I know there's some land out there available for $32,001 an acre. All right, well, do you have an open door policy in your office, or?
It's always open.
All right, very good, very good. Thank you much.